Coming to you from the haunted French Quarter. It's the little podcast of horrors with James, Christina, and Chris.
So this is our show.
Yep.
And I'm James.
I'm Christina.
Everybody knows my name.
Big Papa Chris.
Big Papa Chris. Oh, yeah. And today I am hosting today's episode. But first, what is everyone drinking? I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I'm not drinking anything.
Coffee.
Yes.
It's been a stormy spring weekend here in Dallas. So if I wasn't drinking coffee, I'd be asleep for this episode.
I'm drinking hot tea, so
Yeah, I will probably go get myself a big glass of water at some point because I'm a little parched, but I want to start. I'm good. So, all righty. Well, in keeping with my theme, we will be discussing today. We will be talking about history and hauntings as we discuss the LaLaurie Mansion. Now, this is located in the border of New Orleans. Yes, and I will probably be discussing in further episodes other ghost hauntings of the French Quarter. I could probably do several episodes about all the
So the
haunted
ghosts like
places.
throw beads at people and get out on the balcony and take off their shirts and stuff.
You're not completely far off in this story. I mean, Yeah.
Sweet.
kind of. A lot of people already know about this mansion thanks to the show American Horror Story, the season Coven, because it revolves around that. I mean, very loosely, it's their version, but it's, I don't know, I wouldn't say historically accurate, but it's there. But for anyone who may not know of this really dark place, and I doubt there are a few who don't know about it, I mean, this place is a place of unspeakable horror. Which when I tell you the things that occurred here, it won't surprise you that this place is said to be quite haunted.
Well, yeah,
Now-
I mean, like what happens in Mardi Gras stays in Mardi Gras, right? So,
Yeah, so apparently what happens at the LaLaurie Mansion, unfortunately, stays at the LaLaurie Mansion.
except
now-
for the day, we're just going to spill it out to everybody.
Exactly.
It's not staying
Now-
anyway.
Now, trigger warning, I will be discussing the deaths of children, but I will keep the details as ungraphic. Is that a word? Ungraphic?
It is now.
It is now, as I can. The mansion is located on Laurel Street in New Orleans, and this was once the home of a Delphine LaLaurie, hence the LaLaurie Mansion. She was a thrice-married socialite known throughout the city for her cruelty and abuse towards her slaves. Car driving by.
Also, try saying LaLaurie 3 times fast. Can't do
LaLaurie,
it.
LaLaurie, LaLaurie. It's not that hard.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I did. Anyway, but no one knew the full scope of her depravity until a fire in the mansion in 1834. Now, before we get to that, I haven't been drinking. Now, before we get to that, there had been 12 recorded. I can't talk. Recorded? Am I Elmer Fudd now? Oh, there's ghosts in this house today.
Yes, that's how you should do the whole episode.
I'm just going to do it. No. There had been 12 recorded slave deaths at the mansion over a 4-year period, though the causes of these deaths
Whoa.
were never mentioned. They included a cook and 4 of her children, ranging from the ages of 13 to just 4 years old. A neighbor of the mansion had witnessed a child believed to be around the age of 12 fall to her death from the roof of the mansion while attempting to escape being whipped by Delphine.
Oh.
Yeah. And we'll come back to her too. Her cruelty became so well known that a lawyer was actually sent to the residence to conduct an investigation. because there were actually laws for the upkeep of slaves. I mean, we live in the South, and so we've heard all the horror stories down here. And so I was a little surprised, like there were actually laws to somewhat protect other enslaved human beings. I mean,
How enforced was it though?
I don't know. Not very
Is the
well.
answer to that.
Yeah, I think that's the real question. How enforced was that?
Well, this actually led to the LaLauries being found guilty of illegal cruelty, and they were forced to give up 9 slaves. However, these 9 slaves just ended up being bought back by the LaLauries through relatives and were ultimately returned to the mansion. Needless to say,
I guess the way to frame this so that no one gets the idea of I'm actually slave. It wasn't that bad to be a slave in the South. It's like no. This is the difference we're talking about here is being a complete and utter monster versus bonus points, because being a monster isn't enough. You got to get some extra depravity in.
oh yeah, it's not enough that you have other human beings enslaved. Oh, but you don't even know yet. Needless to say, everyone knew these people were absolute shitheads. But no one had any clue just how utterly fucking insane these people were until the fire I mentioned earlier broke out. And that actually ended up revealing the full scope of just how bad it truly was. On April 10th, 1834, the fire broke out in the mansion, starting in the kitchen. Nearby citizens attempted to aid in evacuating the slaves from their quarters, but Delphine refused to give them the keys to unlock said quarters. So taking matters, she has also had reasons, because in taking matters into their own hands, these citizens broke down the doors of the quarters only to stumble into an actual horror scene. 7 slaves were found horribly mutilated. However, I'm not going to say on this podcast in what ways, but take my word for it, it's the stuff of nightmares. Yeah. They were suspended by their necks and their limbs stretched or severed, and they were still alive, all in the attic. Yeah, they weren't dead, at least not these 7. It's a place they later learned was a place the slaves all feared. They stated they had been imprisoned in these quarters for months.
So we're going to just need to pause every 5 minutes to talk about puppies and kittens in order to kind of...
Maybe. I mean, like, I had to take breaks reading about this because there was a mixture of utter disgust and anger and then just heartbreak.
Oh, good.
Like, you know, and to anybody listening, I'm so sorry if this is upsetting. I will keep the depravity as brief as I can. Mainly I'm trying to talk about it just so you kind of understand why this place is haunted, probably.
Right.
And just to kind of paint in light. Trying to make you understand.
I mean, what I like about puppies is their little wet noses.
I actually like little beagles. They're precious.
If people are watching on YouTube, there is a cat in the background in James's and a dog in the background on mine. So if you want to focus on that for a second, and then come back. Okay.
Yeah. Upon further investigation, they found the cook chained to the stove by her ankle. She had stated she had started the fire in a suicide attempt. As she feared she too would be sent to the attic like the others. The townspeople were in no less of a better term enraged. Around 4,000 people ransacked the home, smashing the windows, tearing down doors, and more or less left the building nothing more than a demolished shell. However, unfortunately, this gave LaLaurie the opportunity to escape. When it was all over, both she and her driver were missing. It's believed that they fled to Paris, according to archival records, but nothing definitive. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just teared up like that.
Oh yeah. There were also reports
that rabbits perform an athletic leap, and it's called a binky when they're happy.
I like that.
So when a bunny hops happily,
it's
got a term for it. It's called Thank
It's
you.
not really helping. There were also reports.
Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, thank you. There were also reports that there were several dead bodies in the attic as well. The bodies mutilated beyond recognition. So really, it's not a surprise that this place is believed to be super haunted. So, but yeah, we don't know really what happened to Madame LaLaurie after that. It's believed that she died, I think, in 1849, according to certain relatives and letters. However, there's a grave in New Orleans with her name on it, with her maiden name too, that some believe is her grave, and that she just kind of secretly either came back to New Orleans or I don't know. Needless to say, it's a mystery of what happened to her. And quite frankly, I don't care. She died, and I hope she died miserable and in pain. And if there's a hell, that bitch is there. I mean, that woman made H.H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper look like noobs.
Did you know that bunnies purr when they're content and relaxed?
I did, actually. I did.
I did not know that.
Well, either way, it's okay now because we're done with that part. Now we're going to get into the, if you want to call it fun, the ghost stuff.
They can jump as high as 90 centimeters in one leap.
Get off the bunnies, man. This is my show. Did you know that rats won't leave wounded other rats? Like if they're hurt, they'll stay with them.
No, I didn't know that.
I read that during my trying to deal with my rat phobia. I have a severe rat phobia, like bad. So over the years, the building has been many things. It's been a conservatory. It's been an all-girls school, and it's even been an apartment building. In 1894, police responded to a murder that occurred while it was an apartment building. Neighbors in the building reported that the victim had claimed to have trouble with sprites and a demon who said it wouldn't rest until he met his end.
Oh my God.
Also during this time, a family residing in the building had their own experiences, or rather the father. The couple had a newborn baby, and the husband would wake in the middle of the night to see a woman standing over the crib. At first, he thought it was his wife, only to discover she was actually asleep next to him. The other thing was that the woman standing over the crib had long, dark red hair, which his wife did not have. The figure, of course, then ran away, but the father did not give chase. Instead, like any good dad, he wanted to check on his baby. And it's a good thing he did, as he reported to have found the baby's sock had been removed from their foot and stuffed into the baby's mouth.
Oh my God. What a bitch.
Yeah.
Did she like run around and kick orphans and push grandmas in the traffic, and so, like that's all her whole MO?
I don't know, man, but like, damn, this woman was just, like vile. And if this is her ghost, which it would be, because this is at this point we're in the 1890s, she's long dead. It's like, even in the afterlife, she's still being a super bitch. I mean,
so you've got like super Jack the Ripper in your home.
Yeah.
A demon waiting for you to croak, and then a bunch of adorable little sprites. One of these things is not like the others.
I know, right? Well, I mean, think about it. It's like multiple different spirits of different victims. So
I don't know more about the sprites. Were they just kind of just chilling, playing around?
I guess. Till the demon.
Ignore the demon in the corner?
I don't know. I guess until the demon walk in and then be like, shit, it's him. Let's get out of here. Or the red-haired woman that doesn't like babies. So I don't know. Let's see. During the time when it was an all-girls school, many of the students, it was at one point it was an all-girls school.
Did you tell us that and I didn't register it?
I thought I did. Hold on.
Okay, sometimes I,
neither of us
miss a detail.
Yeah.
Really.
I said earlier, over the years, the building had been a conservatory, an all-girls school, and an apartment building. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. That for some reason flew right past me.
I was thinking about bunnies.
That's okay.
I'm drunk off tea apparently and missed it. So okay.
That's why they love it in England. Tea. That's why they do it. It's just like, oh Christ, thank you.
So the world's creepiest all-girls school. I got it.
During the time when it was an all-girls school, many of the students reported to their teachers scratches on their arms. And when asked who did this to them, the girls simply said, "That woman." Yeah. The home eventually became a residence where the family often heard in the room where the slaves were kept moaning, phantom footsteps, and the sounds of pots and pans banging together. There have been reports of doors opening with no one there, and even the sighting of a man in a top hat coming from behind an armoire in the middle of the night.
Like apparently, a shadow man with the top hat?
I know,
like
that's what I thought of. I'm like, did he just come out and be like,
yes.
Welcome to the House of Horrors, the shit that I have seen while haunting this place. Excuse me. Yeah. There was also a sighting of a girl sitting up on the roof, believed to be the spirit of the girl who fell to her death trying to escape Delphine's wrath. She's been seen sitting on the roof. There was also apparently while a tour was going, they were standing outside of the house, and the tour guide talked about her and mentioned her by name. The street lamp that had been broken came on and got real bright, according to witnesses. So, yeah. Witnesses have heard screams coming from the building and dark shadows lurking on the balconies. So that's why when you were all like, are they like the spirits of them like wanting beads and standing out on the like they are. They're all like
I mean flashing people, not being creepy.
I mean, they kind of are. I mean, they're not dressed. There's no clothes on them that they can see. They're just shadowy people. They're shadowy people again. There's been reports of a man in chains and a woman with glaring eyes. So the reports go on and on and on and on up until just recently in the last few years. A woman was touring downtown New Orleans with a ghost tour when they came upon the mansion. The tour guide told everyone to take plenty of pictures because you never know what you're going to catch. And this woman sure did not realize what she was going to catch.
What'd she get?
I'm about to show y'all because this is the part. That's show and tell. If I can, I'll have to edit this a little bit, but you know. So the first image didn't really catch anything. It was just the outside of the LaLaurie house. That's it. I was like, did that door just go by itself? Christina, get out!
It's Madame LaLaurie. No, it's Elliot. And then the dogs push the door open after him.
But the second image that you can see here, and for anybody listening, I'm showing my two co-hosts the first image. That's the outside of the LaLaurie house. And if you look closely, you see the image of a woman on the right, kind of see-through in motion blur, but she's walking that was not there. And if you look closely enough, she's wearing what appears to be the style of dress of the Victorian times or that of the 19th century.
Are we allowed to like share our screen so that people, if they watch YouTube, can see this?
Oh, I guess I could, couldn't I?
All I see is a blurry person with the shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
that's
is
all
the
I
first.
See too.
Yeah, that's all. That's the first image. Here, I'll just do it like this then. So, can you see right here?
Okay. Yeah.
Blurry
Yeah.
person with the
And
shoe.
so, as of right here, right now, yeah, but she wasn't there. And if you look closely enough, like you can see like the dress, that sort of thing. But you'll see it
like a tennis shoe.
What's
it
that?
looks like a tennis shoe to me. Yeah, I was thinking it's a tennis shoe, but okay.
Maybe it was casual day.
Maybe it was. Let's see.
Like practical footwear.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe she wasn't, maybe they didn't know she was there because she was going by so freaking fast on her jog.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. However, And as you can see here, the second image.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. You can see the dress. Her hair was up. And nobody saw this woman. Nobody.
So
They
she's really
said.
short.
No. Oh no. These doors are huge, dude.
Oh, it's not like a mini
these are
dress?
no. These are like 9-foot tall doors. Or 10. They're very large doors. No, she's about from if you compared to everything by this light, she's, I don't know, average height. But the fact is that nobody saw her. You can see through her, like right here, like you can see part of the door. And while everything else seems pretty clear, like she's just this weird, strange, blurry figure. And it's almost like, I mean, you could say like it's just that, it's cutting her off right here because you can see a little bit of her dress on this side. But at the same time, it's just something you can't explain. Now, granted, yeah, you could easily argue that somebody just in costume is walking down the street and she caught an image of it and it's motion blur, and then just everybody's like pretending they didn't see her so they can say they saw a ghost.
I mean, it almost is Halloween smoke to me.
What?
Debunking isn't what this show's about. So
no. And the thing is, you can try to debunk a lot of things, but unless you were there, we don't know. So all we can do is speculate.
I'm not debunking. I'm just billowing smoke would be a cool entrance,
I guess.
Oh yeah.
But many people
that's
believe
spooky.
Yeah, many people believe that's actually the ghost of Delphine LaLaurie herself. So
wait, what did you say? That green door, the really tall one, was the door to the house, like the entrance of the house?
Yeah, as I believe so. Okay. From what I read in the article, that's them. That's right out front of the LaLaurie house. So yeah. But is it a ghost?
That's how I would want to appear if I were a ghost. It's just like billowing smoke appears, and I just kind of
that'd be just like oozing out of the sewer drain.
Yeah, just on a. Oh my god! I would freak out. I mean, like I'd be like, "Good lord!" But needless to say, to this day, you'll love this, James. Little fun fact: Nicolas Cage owned this house for like 2 years. He bought it in 2007. Unfortunately, he lost it. It went up. It went into foreclosure and got bought at auction. And the owner today apparently keeps it sealed. Like he does not let whoever owns it. It's a private owner, and they do not let anybody go inside.
Oh,
I just want to imagine Nicolas Cage being haunted by all these things.
Yeah.
I mean,
did he ever say anything about it?
Yeah, actually. What did he say? I thought I wrote that down.
I was like, who would be more afraid of who?
Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, Nicolas Cage purchased the home in 2006 for $3.4 million.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, Cage bought the mansion to get inspiration to write a horror novel, which, excuse me, which he didn't really get too far on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an extravagant inspo purchase.
Yes, and this is according to an article in Vanity Fair. He later told the New York Daily News that owning the LaLaurie mansion was a childhood dream come true.
Of course.
Nick Cage.
Dude, why? Yes, he bought the mansion to get inspiration to write a horror novel. The novel, however, was never written, and Cage lost the home to foreclosure in 2009.
I just want to believe that he sat around in it in his priest outfit with his just wide-eyed face at all times.
Face off.
The ghosts were too freaked out to even mess with him.
Oh my God, could you imagine him in a seance?
Yes.
Yeah, the ghosts are like, who the hell is this guy? This guy is nuts. And we knew Delphine. Delphine's over there like, I don't know who this asshole is. I'd rather be in hell. No, I'm kidding. I actually love Nick Cage. I love Nick Cage movies. It's a guilty pleasure. Gone in 60 Seconds, National Treasure.
He is great.
The Rock.
I still want to see that one, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I still have not watched that, or Renfield.
So good. And Renfield's good too.
So good.
Renfield's so good. Oh, we saw both, and me and Kate loved it, both of them. But anyway, that's pretty much all there is to the LaLaurie mansion. You can visit it even today. It has gone through, like I said, various versions. Like I said, it's also been a furniture store. Gosh, what else? And it's been rebuilt in many ways, because of the riot and it was just left in disrepair. And so a lot of people would argue it's almost not the same building that it was during her time, but either way, you can at the very least visit it today on the outside. You can walk past it and maybe see the young girl sitting on the roof, or maybe see that bitch's ghost, LaLaurie, walking past. Who knows? But it was a place of unspeakable horror and tragedy.
Yeah.
One medium, she visited it, and she just said, if you believe in mediums, she just said that she just felt she actually said she felt a great sadness. But then she also mentioned that the feeling she got was that most of the spirits in the house weren't afraid anymore because Josephine, or Delphine was long gone, or at least did not have the power anymore that she did. And so she got the sense that the spirits there were mostly at peace now, or just at least not misery or fear or pain or anything like that.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I mean, that's something.
Just not ready to move on.
I guess not. Just not ready to move on. But I mean, in the end, it's ghosts. We don't, if ghosts are real, we don't know why they linger. We don't know why they stay behind. We theorize of unfinished business, or they don't know they're dead, or any of those old tales, but we don't know. We don't know why they linger. All we can do is try to understand, study, the experiences, talk to people who have had experiences, and do our best to theorize. But
then
that's crazy.
After you do, you can travel to Okudashima, which is a small Japanese island, also known as Bunny Island, because its entire island is populated with bunnies, and you can go visit them. They're considered tame, and they're used to having people feed them. So,
could you go there and could you buy the whole island and then forbid anybody else coming there, and it's just you, and the bunnies get to the point where they think that you are the only one of your kind, and then you become king of the bunnies?
Yes, absolutely.
Life goals.
King of the bunnies.
Like the bunnies start building you a throne, out of twigs, and
yes,
and eventually they all just circle around you, and you could give them little food that they can't normally get, and they'll just think, no, actually you'll be the bunny god to them. They'll just be like,
that is accurate.
There you go. So yeah, that's better than Snake Island, which is an island that is filled to the brim with deadly snakes. You can't even set foot on it because you'll die.
Wait, where is that?
I think it's near Italy. I could be wrong. You can look it up.
Good, as long as it's not near Bunny Island.
No, it's not near Bunny Island.
Two islands I don't want to have any proximity to each other.
Would they have a war? It's like the Great Bunny Snake Island Wars. I don't know. I think the greatest war I ever heard of was this island that apparently is in dispute between Canada and the United States, and it's barren. And to this day, Canada and the US constantly fight over who owns it. But what they do is when the military comes to whatever reason they have to come there, they'll leave a bottle of American whiskey. And then when the Canadians come, they get rid of that whiskey and they put Canadian whiskey, and it just goes back and forth.
That's exactly how I'd expect the US-Canadian war to go down.
Yeah.
Just as passive aggressive as one could possibly be.
Yeah. So,
but there is alcohol involved.
And there's alcohol
because there has to be.
And there's alcohol involved. So yeah. But anyway, if you enjoyed this story, please like and share it. And if you feel so moved to, you can donate to Little Podcast of Horrors. We have a website, littlepodcastofhorrors.com. You can also email us at littlepodcasthorrors@gmail.com. And with that, yeah, that's it. So.
Good job, Chris. I really liked the pictures. So people need to watch this on YouTube to see those.
Yep. We will. And of course, the episode, we will include, if you can watch us on YouTube and take a wild guess what you have to type in to see us on YouTube.
Bunny Facts 101.
That's it. I knew I was going to say something about bunnies. Bunnies with their big floppy ears. I don't know.
Are we? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Are we?
I like to interrupt. Are we allowed to put those pictures on our Instagram?
I don't see why not. They're like on, I found them on multiple ghost websites, and I don't think they're copyrighted. They're just, they're just pictures. Might be something we look into, but yeah. Sorry, with the bunnies thing, I was gonna say, I just think of Monty Python. He's like, well, he's like, that's the blood. Oh my God, run away! Just like we get to Bunny Island, and it turns out they're
with your things. Yeah.
Big nasty pointy teeth and a thirst for blood I've never seen. So, yeah, we get there, and that's the type of bunnies they are. And I'm just looking at you like, yeah, there goes your little illusion. You just brought us to an island of bunny horror. So, anyway.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Till next time.
Arrivederci.
Stay tuned for more Bunny Facts. Bunny Facts!